Melissa Gilbert spent 9 years playing the perfect Prairie daughter on national television. But the real story of her life looks nothing like Walnut Grove. She was born on May 8, 1964, in Los Angeles, and was placed for adoption almost immediately. By the very next day, she had been welcomed into the family of actor Paul Gilbert and dancer Barbara Crane, a household already woven into the fabric of Hollywood. Her maternal grandfather, Harry Crane, created the Honeymooners. Before she could even form complete sentences, show business was already her world. She was appearing in commercials as a toddler, and the line between childhood and career blurred so early she never really got to see it clearly. But the hardest thing about her childhood wasn't the work schedule. It was a secret her family kept hidden for years. Melissa was told her adoptive father had died from a stroke. Only much later did she learn the painful truth. He had died by suicide. She later described being unable to eat or sleep properly for months after finding out. That kind of grief doesn't just hurt, it rewrites everything you thought you knew. Then came the audition that changed her trajectory completely. In late 1973, around 500 girls competed for the role of Laura Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie. 9-year-old Melissa got the part. Michael Landon, who personally approved her casting, became far more than a co-star over the years that followed. He was a mentor and, in many ways, the father figure she needed. For nearly a decade, she appeared in almost every episode, growing up on screen in front of millions, while squeezing in just the legal minimum of 3 hours of school each day. The audience fell in love with Laura Ingalls, and that, it turned out, became its own kind of trap. Melissa later wrote that playing Laura felt like both an escape and a cage. No matter what she did next, Broadway at 15, darker TV movies, legal dramas, audiences kept seeing the girl in braids. The identity she'd built her career on, she spent years trying to escape. Off-screen, the struggles were just as real. She faced 2 divorces, admitted to abusing alcohol and prescription medication during some of her lowest points, and eventually found sobriety around 2004. A moment that helped push her toward change came when she woke up, having passed out drunk, in her dog's bed while a friend was visiting. Tax debts surfaced publicly in 2013, and again in 2015. She wrote candidly about all of it in her 2009 memoir, Prairie Tale. Not to generate sympathy, but because the polished image had simply cost too much to maintain. The reinvention that followed was quieter, and by her own account, far more honest. Around 2013, she married actor Timothy Busfield, and eventually left Los Angeles altogether, settling into a restored cabin on 14 acres in upstate New York. She stopped dyeing her hair, stopped Botox, removed her breast implants, and in 2022 launched Modern Prairie, a lifestyle community built specifically for women over 50. When she turned 60 in 2024, she called it the most incredible year of her life, earned wrinkles, opinions, and all. Melissa Gilbert's story is not a redemption arc, it's something messier and more human than that. It's about a girl who was handed a perfect image before she was old enough to choose one, and spent the rest of her life figuring out who she actually was beneath it. If that kind of honesty is what you're here for, hit like and subscribe. There's plenty more where this came from.